Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to MLS Journeyman with Inter Miami Season 2. Things are about to get interesting. Champions League is heating up. We're in the quarter-final versus none other than our Eastern Conference rival, Atlanta United, team that has been an outstanding club since the very first season that they joined MLS. And they're still an outstanding club. Let's take a look at Champions League for 2022. Down to 8 teams. Inter Miami versus Atlanta United. Minnesota versus Montreal. Club America versus Monterrey. San Jose versus Santos Laguna. That's a lot of MLS teams. All 5 MLS teams still alive. Only 3 Mexican teams left. Liga MX. Take a look at the stages. Let's see if we can look at the old tree. Can we go back? Can we go back to the first round? There we go. So Club America makes it through. No problem. Monterrey makes it through also. No problem. San Jose beats Pachuca. There's the big upset. 4-0 over Pachuca. How about that? Wow. Santos Laguna 14-0 over Metropolitan. Ouch. Inter Miami makes it through to Atlanta United. Minnesota beats Defense Force. All right, so the big upset. The reason why there's a disparity in the number of MLS teams versus Liga MX teams is this one. San Jose over Pachuca. San Jose, team was very good last year. They were one of the top teams in the Western Conference. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in this competition. And they didn't really lose a lot. They didn't gain a lot. So they're still as good a team as they were last season. And Pachuca found that out the hard way. 4-0. Let's see how this goes. Now, as for Atlanta United, you saw they were predicted first in MLS this season. They've got an interesting lineup. Take a look at the transfer history, I should say. Brought in a lot of guys. They brought in a ton of players from their academy. 8 academy players have come in for Atlanta United. Looks like several went out on loan, but still, that's a ton of players from their academy. That's an interesting maneuver for a team like Atlanta United, which year in and year out, they play with a very small roster. So we'll take a look at their roster this year. They drafted a couple of players in the Super Draft, and then they made one big move. Ozeri, midfielder, American, 23 years old. Brought him in for $3 million. Their big loss was Escobar, 27-year-old defender. So their defense has taken a few hits in the last couple of seasons, but they've also brought in some guys. Other than that, not a lot of huge names here of guys that they lost. They lost one guy to Indy 11. Let's see, did they make any big trades? They made a couple of trades. They did trade George Bello. They brought in Trey Muse from Seattle. Trey Muse, 22-year-old goalkeeper. A lot of interesting moves for Atlanta, sort of different than what you would expect from these guys. So let's take a look at their registration for MLS. Their registration for Champions League is a tad small. 31 of 35 players. That does not look like 31 players to me. That looks closer to 20-something players. Let's take a look at their MLS registration. There we go. 23 players on their MLS roster, 3.82 million. So they've still got some maneuvering to do. They have used all their off-budget players. They've got a few guys out on loan, but for the most part, it looks like they've got a pretty respectable roster. Is it big enough to handle Champions League? I don't know about that. So let's get to the match preview, and I think certainly they're not going to, I don't know what's going to happen because we play them 3 times in a week. So that middle game, that MLS game, I think they're going to be super worn out, and then that's going to carry on into the third game. So I worry that Atlanta United in that third game is going to be just absolutely devastated. I mean, they're going to have a ton of guys that are going to be super tired, and we'll see if we can take advantage of that. They do have 2 players unregistered. Those 2 guys that they traded for are unregistered for Champions League. So there's not a lot they can do about that at this time. And we have managed to even things up against Atlanta United. 2 wins apiece with 1 draw in the middle. So we're going to have a little bit of some tiebreakers going on here. We are the favorites. Kicking off at our new stadium, Miami Freedom Park. 24,986 tickets sold out of 25,000. So it should be a sellout. Both teams in strong form. 2 wins and a draw in their last 3. We've only played 3 games. So, looking pretty good. Frank de Boer, still the head coach. Still playing pretty well. Still coaching pretty well. 2018. So, there's no reason to fire this guy. He's been getting, near the top of the league just about every year. So, hopefully Atlanta can keep their expectations, reasonable. It is a bit of a blustery day in South Florida. 60 degrees and gusty. It'd be freezing for Floridians with that kind of weather, but we'll see. Anything else we need to look at? I don't think so. I think that's it. Let's go. Kick this Champions League off right. We're mostly healthy, fit, ready to go. Martins is a little bit unfit, but we're starting him. He's our best option at fullback, without a doubt. We did pick up a guy off of waivers, but he had a huge salary, so we sent him down to Inter Miami too, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with him. He's got like a $300,000 salary, which we can't afford, but I picked him up off waiver because, I don't know, why not, I suppose. But we'll see. That's for some other time. He's not going to be in this roster, that's for sure. Definitely not Champions League eligible. But here we go. It's our starting lineup. As close to our starting lineup as we can get. Sean Johnson in goal. Martins. Shaq Moore. Austin Trusty. Gonzalez Perez. Big offseason pickup this year. He's played well in his 1 appearance for us. 8.2 rating with an assist. David Norman's going to be taking... he's not going to be permanent here at this position. I mean, Louis Philippe will probably be the permanent position. But Philippe is just not really match fit right now. He's been injured most of the offseason. So we're going to go with David Norman in there with Mendez, Pellegrini on the left, Mackenzie Gaines on the right, Jordi Reyna, and Martin up top. Martin, 4 goals. He played very well in Champions League, scoring on the teams that he should have been scoring on. All right, now Atlanta United. Bit of an interesting, not really what you think of when you think of Atlanta United. Going with a 5-2-3, basically 5-2-1-2, narrow formation. Robinson, Carter Vickers, and Dayak. 3 appearances. Who's this guy? Looks like a youngster. 23 years old. Super draft? Super duper draft in 2020. So he's been around. They've loaned him out a few different times. Sent him down to Atlanta United 2. Sent him out to Birmingham. Dayton Dutch Lions. All of that. So it's interesting. Moving up the ranks there. Pogba on the left-hand side. No, not that Pogba. Florentine Pogba. Reggie Cannon on the right. Nagby, Remedi, Carlton, Tran, and Martinez. So the midfield is pretty much the same as last season. They've just sort of... They don't have their wingers anymore. They brought in their fullbacks and an extra defender. So they've changed things up a little bit. But still a lot of recognizable names on that roster. Let's go. Okay, how useful is Jordi Reyna? Yeah, he's great. He's wonderful. He's amazing. Who is this? Zach Morgan from the American Soccer Informer. Experienced with great respect. Everybody has great respect for me. I'm not used to that. A lot of times when I play FM, like these journalists hate me to death because I never attend their press conferences. Anyway, Hajdarevic has just signed a new contract. He was bugging me for a new contract. Can we expect to see him on the first team on a more regular basis? He's a tremendous young player. Just give him some coach speak. All right, here we go. New stadium. Looks a little different. Blue trim. Big scoreboard in the corner. Here's Reggie Cannon throwing it away to Martins, but Remedi's going to gather it in. Atlanta United in the sort of browns. There's a terrible turnover. Martin across midfield, down the near sideline, looking for some help. Around one tackler. He's got some men in the middle. Drops it off. Yordi Reyna. Great play from Martin. One-man band right there, just holding up the ball, waiting for Yordi Reyna. That's what we've been looking for. That's, if those two guys can cement their partnership, that would be outstanding. Great maneuver right there around the tackler. Then holds it, waits, and look at Reyna just diving in. Outstanding counterattack, boys. That's the way to do it. 3 minutes in. Atlanta United, Pogba with the throw-in. Another steal. Defense looking good. Shaq Moore sends it forward. Martin is born for Champions League. Okay, he wasn't able to score there, but he is giving Atlanta fits right now. I mean, why we brought him in, right? I mean, that was one of the justifications for bringing him in was Champions League. Cameron Carter-Vickers to Diak. Can we take advantage of the rookie? Ooh, Martin was getting ready to pounce. Martin should just bait them into passing it to the rookie, and then, well, I guess he's not a rookie. He's been around for a couple of seasons, but he is still only 23. Super draft player. There's Carlton. Gets it up to P.T. Martinez. Defense looks to be there. Sends it across. Reggie Cannon. Wow. Off the post. That should have been a goal. Perez with the clearance. We managed to keep our 1-0 lead. Back and forth game right now. Atlanta is getting a lot of attempts. Pogba with the header. Another one off the crossbar. Okay, it's fine. Gonzalez is booked. Okay. I don't know what that is. Back to the field. Hello. Okay. We're going to need to see a replay on that one. Martin just tackling everyone on the doorstep of the goal. Let's see. Let's see what happened here. We got a little confused. Something happened, and then Martin just tackled everyone. All right. Shaq Moore sends it. Great play. A little bit of a deflection, and then there's the double tackle. The goalkeeper just gets kicked out of the way, and then Martin slide tackles his way to victory. See this again. Shaq Moore, ooh boy, he looked a little offside, but the defense touched it, and it stands. Wow. Here we go. Norman sends in the corner. Trusty misses it. Gaines nearly has it. Perez gathers it in. Perez has a yellow card. He almost loses it. Pellegrini, likewise with a yellow card, does recover. He's looking for some outlet, some help. There we go. Okay. 30 minutes, 2-0. This is good. This is fine. Definitely what we're looking for here. Some crazy goals. Crazy goals. Okay. But Martin, I mean, what can you say? The veteran used some of his veteran savvy to get those goals, that's for sure. We've struggled in possession. Okay. Hardly conceded any free kicks. Okay, that's good. It seems opposite of what I've seen in our highlights, but that's okay. Good number of touches in the penalty area. Pogba's won back possession. Again, we're getting outpossessed. I'm not sure what's happening there, but 10 shots to 4. We'll take that any time of the week. Dressing room, very happy. Let's go. Second half. If we can get some more wacky goals, that would be outstanding. Got 2 yellow cards in there. Some guys who aren't playing particularly well, but nothing terrible at the moment. Perez is a little out of condition. Here's Norman again with another corner. Sends it across, headed out by the defense. Remedi has it. Atlanta United on the counterattack across midfield. Remedi storming forward. Atlanta United trying to... Nope, Shaq Moore Great defensive play, and he just stifles that attack. Now, are we going to get a counterattack? Martin sends it forward to Norman. He's got a little space. Gets it out wide to Pellegrini. Looking around the man. Sends it across. Gaines. I think we get a corner out of that. Gaines just missed that near post. We do get a corner out of it. Martins tries to send it back post. Pellegrini's going to gather it in. Let's see what we can do. See if we can... Oh, there's a big foul. Remedi, get out of here. Okay, 60 minutes. Pellegrini's playing well. He's got that yellow card. Same with Perez. You know, I do kind of want to get those yellow cards out of there. I think we'll move Trusty over. Bring in Suarez. And we'll bring in Jesus Martinez. You know, taking out two guys who are playing well is not a great idea, but they're a little tired. And they had those yellow cards. Let's get them out. A 2-goal lead, that's fine. Here we go. Shaq Moore, throw in. Gets it to Jordi Reyna. Gets it stolen. Gets it back. Gaines. Across. Martin. Hat trick. Hat trick. What are you going to do? Can't stop him. He's unstoppable. I mean, you know, when you got a nose for the goal, these kind of things happens. I mean, he just snuck between two defenders, the little guy. That's one of the advantages of being a small guy. Is look at this. He doesn't have a lot of room, but he doesn't need a lot of room. Just accelerates past the defenders. There we go. 29-year-old making the best of it. I mean, you know, people questioned whether he was worth $1 million a year. I don't know. Scoring a hat trick in Champions League might be worth $1 million. We'll see. Shaq Moore has it. 78 minutes. I think. Oh boy, there's a terrible turnover to Mane, who's in the game now. Carlton looking to be the playmaker, the facilitator. Dayuk, okay. Forcing Atlanta back to their own half. That's what we want to do. Make them drop it all the way back to the keeper. I mean, they had some momentum on the attack, and then we just stifled it at midfield. That's pretty good. Robinson across to Dayuk. Scoops it ahead. Almost a turnover at midfield. P.T. Martinez around two defenders. Shaq Moore is back there. Yikes, okay. So we're gonna go back to positive. We're gonna change our team instructions to, waste some time. See if we can run out the clock. 80 minutes. Should be able to run out the last few minutes. No problem. Mackenzie Gaines loses it to Pogba. 85 minutes. Pogba down the near sideline for Atlanta. He was a bad touch, but he recovered. Gets it to Garcia, who's in the game now. Carlton sends it forward. Nagby way out wide on the run. He sends it across. Oof. Cannon nearly scored, but he sends it wide. Okay, Atlanta United has switched up their formation to a very strange-looking formation. They've sent someone out wide. It must be Nagby. Let's take a look at this formation. Let's take a look. So it's a 3-1-3-1-2. This is definitely sort of the battle cruiser formation. So they've sent Martinez out wide. Perez is in, and he's up top, and Mane is up top. Nagby in the middle. Cannon moves up to the midfield. Garcia, defensive midfielder. This is an odd formation. Never seen that before. Definitely not from Atlanta. All right. 87 minutes now. This highlights are coming fast and furious, but I think this formation for Atlanta might have some holes, and there's the holes. Martin, oh, he sends it just wide. Goal kick for Atlanta. That shouldn't have been possible with those three defenders and a defensive midfielder back there. That should have been the one place where they could have held up defensively, and it was the opposite. Reggie Cannon now gets it forward. Mane in on goal. Sends it across. Shaq Moore with the clearance. Good man. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Full time. Boom. 3-0. We'll take it. Reyna got that. That's right. Reyna got the other goal. I thought Martin got all three because he had that breakaway, and then I blanked out. But no, he passed it back to Reyna. So, yeah, I remember that. I recall. All right. It's a great game. Couldn't ask for anything better. Just be passionate. Passionate. Very happy. Very happy. Way to go, boys. Dominant Champions League victory. It seemed like Atlanta played their top players. Yeah, Tran suffers defeat against his former club, that's for sure. So we're going to go play Atlanta United again. And then we're going to come back for the second leg of this where we play Atlanta United for the third time. So, I'm going to pause it here, and we'll be back momentarily. Okay, we are back for second leg of the quarter finals, Atlanta United versus Inter Miami. Let's take a look at the rest of Champions League. Minnesota over Montreal 1-0. Club America over Monterrey 3-2. San Jose over Santos Laguna 1-0. So we haven't quite decided anything yet. Everybody's got 1-goal leads except for Inter Miami. 3-goal lead over Atlanta United. It's going to be tough sledding for Atlanta to make that up, but stranger things have happened in the Champions League before. Let's take a look. All right, Atlanta United 6-4 favorites. That's interesting. We are back at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Now, they did beat our reserves in the middle game here, 2-1, but it wasn't very impressive. And they did play a lot of their starters, so I think a lot of their starters are going to be a little tired for this, including P.T. Martinez with a groin strain is out. Dayak suspended. Remedi suspended. So they got some real issues there in Atlanta United. I don't know how they're going to come back from this one, but we shall see. Team selection, it's not basically. It's the same team. We rested everybody, and now everybody is 100%, 97% anyway. Close as 100 as you could possibly get. We're ready to go. Looks fairly similar. They do have some changes in their lineup, obviously, they've had to make. So they got Richie in goal, Robinson, Cameron Carter-Vickers, and Abdellaoui making his debut. Abdelhadi Abdellaoui. It's probably closer. Anyway, 17-year-old. Came from Atlanta United Academy on a free. Currently, he's just previously with Atlanta United too. They've called him up for Champions League. All right, good luck to you, young man. Pogba and Cannon back at the fullbacks. Garcia and Nagby in the midfield. Garcia nearly suspended. 4 times he's played this year. 6.77 rating. Carlton, Tran, and Mane up top. So Mane, 2 starts, 2 goals. 7.28 rating. So he's played well. The fact that they're not playing any wingers this year means they can play a lot of different guys at striker, including Tran, who's much more of a midfielder type dude. But, you gotta do what you can with this formation. Anyway, we got our same lineup. Sean Johnson in goal, Martins, Shaq Moore, Trusty, Perez on defense, Norman, Mendes in the midfield. Pellegrini, Reyna, Gaines, and Martin up top. 6 goals in 3 appearances and an assist. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pep talk. Let's be passionate. I expect a win. Ooh, okay. They weren't too happy about that. Mendes has been pulling the strings. Who is this? Kenny Rios of the Fort Lauderdale Soccer Messenger. We've talked to this guy before. Always good to have someone to rely on in the midfield. As you prepare to face Atlanta United, are you happy with Perez's performance as a central defender? Yeah, sure, he'll keep doing his thing. He's fine. Whatever. How much of a boost is Martinez's absence? Yeah, any team would miss a player of his caliber. it's actually very good. But Mane is a different type of dude. He's got that raw speed that could hurt any team. You know, if he gets hot, if he starts making some, making some noise, he can get behind any defense. Mendes loses it to Carlton on the near sideline. Carlton racing up the sideline, cutting inside a bit. He's beating Shaq Moore down the field. The defense is going to have to squeeze in on him. That was a terrible shot or cross or whatever that was. It wasn't even deflected. Okay, Carlton. Not good coming down that side. There we go. Martins with a big play. Looking to make a move. Cross midfield. Just barely drops it to Norman. Gets it to Reyna. Okay, we're matriculating the ball a little bit. Martin tries to cross it in. No good. Martin's back post to Mackenzie Gaines. That was a beautiful cross from Martins to Gaines. The right winger with the goal. That could salt this away if that stands, which it looks like it will. That is, 4 goals is fairly insurmountable. Martins, bang, just right on target, and Gaines puts it away easy. No problemo. 11 minutes in, we're up 4-0. Aggregate, we'll take it. Pellegrini with another yellow card. Okay, Reyna gets a throw in. He loses it. Mane has it. Mane's going to try to turn on the Jets, beat the defense downfield. He does exactly that. He's in on goal. Big stop from Johnson. Like I said, Mane's got that speed. He can do that all day long. The question is, can he finish? Here's David Tran with the corner for Atlanta, sending it in. Okay, no fouls this time. That's good. Reggie Cannon has to chase it down, reset the offense for Atlanta. Big steal from Yordi Reyna. Nope. Get it back, Atlanta. Looking to reset the attack, but nope. No, sir. It ends right there. All right, Pellegrini's been booked. Tell him to ease off tackles. Absolutely. He's a bit of a yellow card fanatic these days. He might be suspended for next game. We're going to have to look into that. We're not super deep at left wing. That is one problem with having such a young starter is, there's nobody really to back him up. So if he goes out, we're going to have to bring in probably a rookie, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Dressing room. Pep talk. We're doing good. We're doing fine. Very happy. Let's go. End the team talk. I mean, what do you got to say? We're up 4-0. First half went by perfectly. Second half, if we just do the same thing, we're moving on to the semifinals of Champions League. Close in on David Tran, sure. Perez gets his 4th yellow card of the season. It's the same guys getting the yellow cards. Here we go. Our defenders keep losing Mane. Okay, there's not much we can do about that. He's just faster than everyone. Reggie Cannon has it for Atlanta United across midfield. Cameron Carter-Vickers switches fields to Pogba. Pogba one-on-one with Shaq Moore. Big tackle from Shaq Moore. Can't get the ball. But he does get Pogba. And that gives Atlanta United a free kick. Penalty kick even. Carlton. This is how they won the regular season game. They won it on a penalty. Carlton gets another one. Makes things interesting. 3-1 now. 4-1, I should say. It's not. They don't get to take one of our goals away. I mean, our goal still counts. So it's still 4-1. But they got to beat us because we got an away goal and they do not. So it's going to be a little bit tricky for Atlanta United to come back. All right, let's be positive. Let's just run this thing out. Whoa, 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 hey, yo, whoa, 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 yo. There we go. 80 minutes. 80 minutes and counting. All right. Yeah, we've run out the clock. Get out of here. 89 minutes, 2 minutes of stoppage time. And there it is. We only had 46% possession. Again, I'm not sure what's going on this. We're playing the same tactic. We got basically the same team. and yet we're unable to win the possession battles. I don't know what's going on. I mean, Atlanta United is good at the possession style as well. But I don't know. We're going to have to look into it. Mackenzie Gaines gets the goal. Carlton, 94% pass ratio and a goal for Atlanta United. That's pretty good, but not good enough. Dressing room, pep talk. Very happy with the result and the way you played. 1-1 draw. Moves us on. Achievement unlocked, attack. Okay, we'll see what that is later. But there we go. Inter Miami. First leg triumph. Help Inter Miami past Atlanta United. Absolutely does. Champions League quarterfinals. We were only expected to reach the quarterfinals. So the fact that we have moved on to the semis, that's going to be a big boost. Let's see. Let's take a look at the old competition. So the other teams have not finished. So we're going to, move things ahead a little bit, and we'll see what the matchups are. So I'm going to pause it here real quick. Okay, we are back. All the games have been played and some interesting results. Monterrey with a big comeback over Club America, 5-4 to move on to the next round. A very exciting quarterfinal there. San Jose squeaks by Santos Laguna on penalties, 1-1. Move on to the semifinals. They're going to face Monterrey. Meanwhile, Minnesota loses to Montreal. It's a bit of an upset right there. Thought Minnesota was the better team for sure. And now that's who we face, Montreal Impact. So we've got a pretty good road to the final, I think. And then it's a possibility. Could be an all-MLS final. Could be Monterrey versus Inter Miami. That's probably what most people are going to look at as the best bet. Don't think Montreal is that good of a team. Currently 11th. They do have a lot of players. Max Cerruti, Piatti is still there. Tim Melia, Perry Kitchen, Samuel Piatti. So they got a lot of, pretty decent names. Where were they predicted in Major League Soccer? Let's take a look at that for sure. Season preview. Let's go. Montreal. 19th. 100-1 odds. So, they might not be the best team in the world, but they've got an interesting team. They at least have a large enough roster to compete. They don't have to worry about all their guys being tired and injured and suspended. Although, speaking of suspended, we did have 2 players suspended for this game. So we're going to have to worry about that for sure. Pellegrini suspended and Perez, the 2 guys who got yellow cards every game during this series. So we're going to miss them. We're going to have to make some lineup changes against Montreal, and we'll see if we can beat the Canadian representative. But that will be next time. So until then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.